The favorite thing about this airplane and flying it is the thrust capability and also just the basic user interface within the cockpit.
This airplane's got a lot of power in it, so when you're up, when you go to take off, it accelerates very rapidly, and then up in the airspace, if you go to afterburner, it goes pretty quick.
With automation such as auto throttle and a more robust autopilot than previous airplanes I've had, as well as automatic trim and that the F-35 has, it allows you to devote almost all of your mental capacity to the mission rather than to the flying of the airplane.
What was striking about the flights to me was how comfortable I was just after a couple of approaches. I would have been comfortable going to the ship after about 2 to 3 passes. That the training burden to get pilots ready to go to the ship both for the first time and then to maintain their currency after they've already been to the ship, we have the potential to reduce that training burden significantly.
We're flying high alpha testing on AF4, and we found out that whenever we put the airplane out of control, we were able to use the stick and the pedals or the automatic recovery system to bring the airplane back in control. So we're getting more and more confidence.
Everyone who has access to Alice can access it at a moment's notice. It's easier to receive in parts, it's easier to see what's wrong with an aircraft. You can see who's worked on it, you can see when they worked on it, you can see what they've done to it. It's a very thorough system.
It will definitely improve the maintainability of this airplane because Alice will have a lot of the questions answered and eliminate the need for troubleshooting.
The new F-35 system is much easier to maintain. As far as Alice and the aircraft working together, I like how when you download the PMD, it gives you all the information right off the aircraft.
Well, this is our carrier strike aircraft for the next 50 years. It's extremely important for us to be operating an aircraft that can fly from ships, and we're getting as much experience as possible so we can move to Edwards Air Force Base and carry out our test and evaluation.
What's really different about F-35 from legacy platforms is just the number of sensors we have available, the integration of those sensors, and then the display of the information to the pilot.
The concept of the helmet is essentially to provide a virtual HUD for the pilot. With that, we can see through the cockpit, which means that we don't have to roll the airplane inverted to see our target. We can actually look through the aircraft, if you will, to see what we're targeting.
With the Block 2A software, we have the full onboard sensor suite, and then we tie that with the capability to actually bring on Link 16 data link, the MADL data link.
When you use the MADL between F-35s, you've got a high data rate data link that shares information so that my wingman knows what I know, and I know what he knows.
What the F-35 has done is change the flight controls, or use different flight controls to achieve the desires of the pilot. Specifically, it uses flaps to change the airplane's position on the glide slope, and what that does is it takes practically all of the lag out of a pilot input.
4th-gen airplane, you had to interpret the radar, interpret the targeting pod, but this airplane brings it all together for you and lets you basically make quick decisions on the battlefield.
Ultimately, that allows the pilot to make a better, more informed tactical decision. That, in my opinion, is going to be the big leap forward in the F-35.